What's up, good people? Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I'm going to slip on a bathrobe and eat a whole box of day-old donuts. Come on now, you know that's ridiculous. I don't wear bathrobes. Ugh. No, that's not at all true. In reality, we're back on Huckleberry today. We're going to see about getting the front end cleaned up, maybe doing some suspension work, definitely doing some brake parts, which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which I would really appreciate if y'all would help support, LEED Brakes. I had put a disc brake conversion kit on old Rat Marrow. I don't know if you remember that car or not. But that worked out so well that I actually reached out to these folks and said, hey, you know, I'm building a Squarebody Blazer. Would you be, you know, interested in partnering up or whatever? And they were like, absolutely, yeah, we'll help you out. We got a bunch of stuff going on with C10s. Sounds like a great deal. So we're going to be putting some LEED brake parts on today. And I appreciate you helping me out by going and supporting them. So enough talk. It's time to get to work. I think we're going to kick things off by getting these backing plates cleaned up and painted, and I'm just going to use some hot water here and SOS, you know, steel wool with the, it's got soap and whatever, you know, it's for cleaning stuff. This should do it, I hope. Oh yeah, no problem. Phew, it's warm today. I might have to get the fan going. Give me a little air to breathe. But I'm not complaining, okay? Don't take that as complaining, because I cannot work with cold weather. So I'll take this all day long. I could have just run these in the house and put them in the dishwasher. It's been a minute since I pissed the wife off. I think she's due a good blood pressure spike. But I guess I'll do it this way, you know, just keep the peace. Oh, I should have scraped this off. I didn't realize how thick that was. Let me get that scraped off. Oh yeah, that'll make life a lot easier. Well, I think you get the gist of this. You know, it's not the most exciting video on earth. So let me get these cleaned up, and I'll come back to you. Ta-da! Well, they're all cleaned up, but as you can see, they're slightly different, and that's because somebody decided to chew on this one. So I'm going to hammer this a little bit. It ain't got to be perfect, I just want it to be better. And then we can get them all painted up. Now, these were not painted originally from the factory. I think they're like galvanized or something. The problem with that is that, you know, they discolor and they get dirty and you can see everything, and eventually they still will rust. So I'm going to paint them. That's just what I'm going to do, dang it. I'm painting these. Let's see if I can get this to resemble something that's not been in a horrible fiery accident. Alright. Let me try a beating on this or something. Maybe if I just stand on it. Holy crap, the standing method worked. I just need to maybe beat on them a little bit right here. That's gonna do it. Like I said, it ain't perfect, but it's better, and that's all that matters, dang it. Sweet! Okay, that is as far as I am taking these dust shields, okay? You know, there's no need to get all wacky with this. No need for wackiness. Now, if y'all have watched the channel long enough, you know that I like to use this Eastwood chassis black. And, you know, if you're building a show truck, okay, you might want to hit these with some self-etching primer or whatever. But this ain't no show truck, and this don't need primer, okay? It's direct to metal. So we're going to use this to paint basically every freaking thing on the frame and the chassis and all that stuff. But I will say there is a very complicated 3-step process to this. So make sure y'all are paying attention, okay? Because if you miss a step, you could ruin the whole project. First, we shake. Step 2, take the lid off. And finally, the spray. Well, Ernie brought the parts back from the sandblaster. Here's our spindles. You can see they're flashing over already. The humidity's up, you know, a little bit, but it's okay. It's perfectly fine. We're going to tape off a couple of things and just get these sprayed. Give them an acetone bath and get them sprayed up. You know what I'm saying? Sprayed up. So basically, I'm just going to cover up the holes where the ball joints go in there, because we don't want to get paint in there if we can help it. You know, this is a little more work than if I'd have just bought new replacements, but to be fair, it was pretty cheap to get these sandblasted, and the spindles are kind of expensive, and this way I get to make these look new without you know, I mean, I guess if you factor in my work, you know, and you calculated that by the hour and all that jazz, it might have been cheaper to get replacements. But I do this because I enjoy it. So I don't factor in the labor, okay? I'm not doing that. To get them sandblasted, just throw some paint on them and be able to keep the stock stuff, the original stuff, that's pretty cool to me. And if I don't factor in the labor, it comes out way cheaper than buying new ones. Same with the control arms. Now I did, you know, with those we're going to have to put some bushings in, and that's going to be a little bit of pain in the butt. So, and then you have to buy the bushings and everything. So in the case of those, I don't know, you might be better off to just buy new replacements and not fool with all that stuff. But again, by doing it this way, I get to keep the original stock components, and that might be important to you, it might not be, but that's what we're doing. Dang it. It's my truck and I do what I want to, do what I want to, do what I want to. Okay, that's all I really care about, just making sure we don't get paint in those holes. Let me get some acetone, wipe these down, hit them with a little chassis black. I mean, he's got the original factory stampings and everything, man. It's just cooler, you know? It's just cooler than putting a bunch of Kung Pao chicken on a dang truck. I do like Kung Pao chicken, though. I'm actually more of a beef and broccoli guy, you know? Fried rice, egg roll. Good grub, that's what that is, good grub. Oh, happy days. Man, this stuff sticks to anything. Soaks right into the pores of the metal. Love it. Love this stuff. It's a little pricey, but man, is it great. Give it a couple of coats, you know, flip it over, give it a couple of coats, whatever. You get the idea. This is my hardware for my backing plates and my whatever else. I think it was ball joint bolts, and anyway, I'm just going to spray a bunch of dang brake cleaner into this plastic bag and seal it up, because I'm sure it won't explode on me or nothing, and toss this around. Oh, it's leaking out, it's leaking out. Look at there, it just made me a bolt washer. I just thought of this just now, and it's brilliant. Let me go dump this juice out. I'll pour some fresh juice in. Or rather, spray some fresh juice in. Oh man, there we go. Round 2. Well, I wish you would look at that. Sweet. I've only got time. The reason I'm wasting time on, I'm fiddling. Okay, I'm fiddling is what I'm doing because I'm waiting for paint to dry, and you know I don't want to watch it actually dry. So I figured I'd fiddle with this hardware. I know that I need these. These are for my backing plate, so I'm going to put these in the wire wheel here right quick. Okay. Now, before we paint this, okay, we need to get new bushings in here because this rubber is shot. And there's probably 1,017 different ways to go about this. And it's been a long time since I've done it, but I'm gonna walk you through how I'm gonna approach this here. And you know, maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't, maybe you know a better way. Either way, we're gonna get it done, right? The end goal will be accomplished in one fashion or another. So the first thing we got to do is get these nuts off, and these jokers are 1 1/8 inches. You can tell they're kind of still rusted on there. These bushings are rubber bushings in a metal sleeve. You see the metal sleeve there? And it's going to be a lot easier to get the metal sleeve out if we get the shaft out. In order to get the shaft out, we need to try to attack this rubber. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the flat stuff off and out of the way. Now I'm going to take a drill and drill out as much of this as I can to get it as weak as I can. I'm just digging out the rubber chunks, man. I want to try to get it all freed up here. And don't worry about the drill hitting anything. There's a metal bushing sleeve in there, and then you get the metal outside, so you can't really hurt anything. As long as you don't get, you know, super nuts about it. Okay. Got the rubber out of that side, and we'll get the rubber out of this side, and then we should be able to get our sleeve out. Okay. There we go. One shaft. Now this is a messy and you know, it's fiddly. It takes some time, but if you don't have a big shop, okay, listen, I'm showing you how to do this at home in your garage. If you don't have a big shop press and all that stuff, this is how you would go about it, you know, the hard way. All right, let me clean this up and we'll get to the metal casings here. Be careful, okay, when you do this, that you don't mess up the control arm itself. But if you can find something, you know, that fits around that. In my case, I have this exhaust clamp here, okay, and it fits around it almost perfectly. I could open this up too, you know, a little bit, but it fits really good right there. So what I'm going to do is set this on here, okay, making sure I'm keeping it flat, and just gently I'm going to tap this out. There we go, it's almost flush. So now I should be able to grab it and wiggle it out. There. I'm going to take some 400 grit and just clean this up. Nothing crazy, just make sure it's smooth, wipe, you know, get the rust knocked down, whatever the case might be. And then here's our new bushing, and the new bushing has like a little shoulder in it, and that's where we're going to, okay, that shoulder. And I'm just going to smooth this out a little bit too. It comes with this coating on it, and sometimes that can get, you know, uneven, whatever the case might be. This just helps. You can stick these in the freezer too, shrink them up a little bit, help you get them in there. Old wives' tale, but it's true, it works. Now we got to get these old sleeves off of our shaft here. You can just kind of tap them to loosen them up a little bit. Maybe see if you can wiggle them back and forth with the pliers. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't, just depends on how rusty they are. But when all else fails, there's a little slit in there, and we can take something and spread that open a little bit. And if this don't work, well, you can always cut them off. Ta-da! And we'll take our sandpaper and clean this up too. This one's pitted pretty good, so I'm gonna run it on the wire wheel right quick. Okay, now just remember, you gotta be easy with this stuff. You don't want to deform your control arms is all. All right, I'm gonna set this here, and then I've got this socket. This is a 2 1/4, and I'm just gonna gently tap this in. Oh, I am making a heck of a racket over here. Now this is where it gets a little crazy, okay? My camera died on me, that's why I didn't get before what you're seeing here now. Anyhow, this is just a piece of PVC that I cut, you know, and all that's going to do is help keep this from folding in on itself when we put this other bushing in. We got to get the shaft in and then the bushing. Now I like to put a little grease on the shaft because it keeps it from squeaking and rusting and helps it turn a little easier, yada yada yada. But we're going to get this in here all the way through the bushing that we already put in. On this end, we're going to put our washer. I'm going to put a little grease on that too. Again, it just helps with the squeaking and saves on the rubber. I'm going to run this on, and I'm only going to get it finger tight here. I don't think I mentioned this on the other side, but I did put a little light oil on the bushing just to help it go in. Do a couple of taps here. Now what I'm hoping is that the impact will run it on the rest of the way. We're just going to go nice and easy. Now we got to be careful that we don't hose stuff up. Like, you don't want to gack your threads up in any of that. So if it's not going in super easy, then we might have to do a little tapping. A little taparoo. And just work your PVC pipe out. Exhaust pipe is also good for this. Now I'm not going to tighten these right now because you really don't want to tighten them until you get them on the truck. And there you go. That's how you can do your control arm bushings if you don't have a press or a shop or whatever. Now this is a long, complicated way to do it, but it's completely possible. So you can do it this way, or you can just take them down to a shop and say, hey, can you press in some new bushings for me? And then walk away and go to lunch and get you a nice sandwich and maybe a hot fudge sundae, and then come back and it's all done. All right, I'm gonna get these cleaned up and sprayed, painted, and then once they set up, once the paint is dry, we can put the ball joints and whatever in it, because those are just bolt on. No pressing needed for these ball joints. Now the lower control arm goes very similar to the uppers. It's bigger and it's more of a pain in the butt, basically because you got this is twofold here, okay, and we got to put something in there to make sure that don't get squashed and mangled, kind of like they did over here. I don't know if you can tell, but if you look here, the casing right there to that bushing should be flush up against the outside of the control arm, and over here, well, we have an issue. You can clearly see that got pushed in right there. So I might try to hammer that back out first, but same basic process, except for doing a little something different with this. I don't know if I'm getting tired or what, but these things they're just so big and freaking heavy. What a pain in the butt, man. Got the rubber out, I got the shaft out, got it cleaned up. Now these metal bushing cups, somebody, I don't know why, but they got these little divots right here, see that? So I'm gonna go to this side and cut those and then tap them in so that this can be, you know, drove out or whatever. Don't cut the control arm. I'm just kind of carefully, I'm just kind of carefully taking my time and punching the thing out from the back with a chisel. I mean with a punch here. It's working, it's slow going, but it's fine. And if you just lightly tap, it should be fine. There we go. Now I got a little burr there. I'll have to clean up a couple of them, but no issues. All right, I'm gonna do the same over here, get this one knocked out, and then we'll see about how we get new ones put in. You dang right. Hey, clean this up and see about straightening this one out. I don't know, maybe I can heat it up and bend it out just a little or something. I don't know, we'll figure something out. Or I won't and we'll leave it. I mean, you know, that's an option too. Yeah, that is definitely the hard way to go about that. But it just goes to show you that you can do it in your garage with, you know, simple tools and things that you find laying around, I guess. Not ideal, and it takes a lot of time. It's definitely more difficult, but it can be done. So this is all taken care of. I've just left it loose so we can still turn this, because these dowels, or these little divots here, there's two pins underneath the cross member that they fit into. Anyhow, we got to tackle this ball joint, and for that I am going to use the press. I just have this little teeny one that I got from the freight store down by the harbor. But the first thing I'm going to do is cut some of this off of here so I can get the socket over top of it. Woo-hoo-hoo, gotta change it now. Okay. Now, is this the safest way to do this, or the best way, or whatever the case might be? I don't know, okay? Well, I gotta adjust this. Hold on. But we're gonna find out soon enough here. I'm gonna set this on top so I don't jack up my my socket. I just got a socket that fits around that thing, and once I get this close, I'll get it centered as I can get it. And now we just push. Push. Oh, there it went. Oh yeah, piece of cake. Okay, let's get the new one. Now we got this cup and this boot here that we need to get off. Guess I'll take this nut off too. All right, drop this puppy in here. There we go. Uh-oh. I wasn't quite centered on that. I didn't like the way it looked. It's almost there. Get out of there. Oh yeah, we got it. Ha-ha! Now we put this boot back on, and the instructions say to use this thing as a mallet to put your boot back. Oh. Stupid. Okay, this lower's all done. I got one more lower to do, and then we can finish up the others. We got to put ball joints in the uppers and put our backing plates back on the spindles, you know, all that stuff. But anyway, let me get this last lower control arm done. It takes a while, man. It takes a while. Supposed to rain today. It ain't looking good. Yeah, not looking good, especially for painting parts. Daryl, the neighbor's painting car parts in the front yard again. What are you doing up there? Come on down here, okay? We got work to do. Yeah, it's the next morning, if you hadn't guessed. You know, had to call it quits last night. Anyway, we're going to tackle this now. See if we can get this fixed up and maybe start rebuilding something. I am not 100% sure what we're going to do about this steering. Maybe nothing. But I do know that I'm going to go ahead and get it off of here. It'll make working around it a little easier, plus I'll be able to, you know, get a better look at this box. I mean, why not? We got nothing but time, right? Nothing but time. So we'll undo the rag joint, take these bolts out, and then there's two over there with the idler arm, and I'm just going to drop the whole contraption. This stuff with a little peanut butter. Yeah, I'm gonna pop this, sorry about the shadows, that's my flag over there. I'm gonna pop this idler arm, I'm gonna take this whole contraption off as one. Idler arm is 2 bolts here, and then the power steering box is 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 over here. Oh man, now I gotta go chasing the nut. These are a 5/8. Ooh, that was really on there. I'm gonna have to go get El Manuel. El Manuel, you have served me well. Hiya! There we go. There we go. Get off of there. Get. There. Yeah. Piece of cake. Idler arm bracket, idler arm. What's that called? You know, the long middle one. And then the pitman arm and the box. All, you know, one contraption. We'll put this aside for now and worry with it later. I don't lost the socket. I just had it working on the steering, and now it's disappeared. Boy, don't you hate when that happens? I mean, here's the tool. You know, I had the gun, and I had the ratchet, and I had the other 2 sockets, and everything's been put up, but one socket I can't find. Huh. Well, I guess we'll find it when we clean up or do whatever. I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know if that ever happens to y'all. Maybe I'm just losing it. I'm losing it. Anyway, we're going to keep going here. Let me show you what we're going to do. I'm going to get all this cleaned up. Okay, we're going to scrub this down to the body mount brackets down there. And then, you know, the front underside of the firewall. We're going to get this cleaned up and refreshed to that point. Because you know, the next phase of this will be underneath the truck, so we'll get there when we get there. But mostly, I've got to put this back together because if you watch my channel, you know I got to be able to move this thing around, and it's going to need some wheels and tires to do that. So that's what we're going to tackle. Let's get after it, I guess. I'm not looking forward to getting grungy. Okay. Oh, there's my socket. Somehow or another, it rolled all the way out here in the driveway. Maybe I'm not losing it after all. They're just trying to run away from me. Put you back in your home, friend. All right, I'm going to borrow this plastic. Kind of done with this for now anyhow. Because there's going to be a lot of crap underneath there that we're going to want to catch. This is recycling at its best, okay? You tree hugger and hippie types should be proud. I mean, it's not getting tossed into the ocean to strangle the turtles. At least, not yet. That's right. This channel's environmentally friendly. Alright, one thing I got to do is address these core support mounts. Like this one's okay. It's a little pitted, but it's okay. Whereas this one, it looks like it was chewed on by something rabid. So I have this. I picked it up at AMD when I got that sheet metal sometime back because, you know, I already knew that was jacked up. But first we got to get these rivets off. So we're going to hit it with the air mangler. Okay. That's not going to do it. Looks like we're going to have to take a slightly more aggressive approach. Grind them down and punch them out. That's what I always say. Maybe I need a bigger hammer. Yeah! Oh, whoops, did I get you there? Sorry about that. Ow! Well, I got myself too, if it makes you feel any better. There we go. Haha. Pizza cake. Now this one, when the time comes, should bolt right up to there. Yeah, that lines up pretty good. I'll just have to locate me some hardware, which that ought to be a good time. Alright, now the fun part. I'm not going to get crazy stupid with this. Okay, I'm just going to scrape off the you know, the big chunks of stuff. Brush it, wipe it, and shoot it. I mean, it's a truck frame, you know what I'm saying? It'd be one of them deals where if you came over to my house and looked at this up close, it wouldn't be like a perfectly smooth, powder-coated, brand new frame. It would be an obvious painted one, you know? But all we want to do is try to slow down the rusting of it. And of course we want our paint to stick, so that's why the grease has to go, you know, obviously. Oh man, I'm missing the plastic. Come on now. Yeah, this part sucks. Me and old Huckleberry are getting a little more intimate than I anticipated. Yeah, way more intimate than I really anticipated. It's just, you know, another one of those deals where I get completely carried away with something. Story of my life. Man, I don't know. I'm beginning to think I need a shrink. This is insanity. Just insanity. Oh, crap. I gotta get this side. Hold on. I gotta roll over. There's a brake line, fuel line thingy here. You just go into there for now. We'll worry with you later. Yeah. Only sane people do this kind of stuff. Okay? Only sane people. You haven't lived until you know, you've done exactly just what I'm doing. So get out there and start living. It's a beautiful blend of grease and oil and dirt. I wonder if we could market it for something. I'm sure. I don't know what. about something. This part of the frame actually doesn't look bad at all. Like, you know, the original coating is holding up. All right. Yeah. I think I'm at the point where I can wipe this down and spray it. Gotta blow it off first, but we'll wipe it down and spray it. But I could be done with this for today. Well, for today, because I got a whole 3/4 more of a truck to do. Later though, later. We'll get to that later. You know, you can only eat so much greasy mud in a day. Yeah. Yep. Mostly useless, but it helps some. Shadow. That's why I call him. It's one of the reasons we call him Shadow. He's like an escape artist. If Mrs. Cleaver built old trucks, this is what it would look like. Brake clean, rags, and acetone. That's where we're at now. Indeedy. It smells good too. You won't get high at all. Oh. This is the kind of cancer stuff they warn you about out in California. If you're looking to stay cancer free, I don't recommend this approach, okay? Always turn your rag. I'm using the brake clean for the areas where I had the heaviest grease, and then I'll use the acetone to just come up behind that, you know. Acetone. Had to go get me a new gallon. I go through this stuff quite a bit because it's good for basically everything, including setting things on fire. I think that's going to do it. Okay. Before we spray this, I need to get our what's-the-namer back on here. I just got some 3/8 hardware out of the bin. I was surprised I had it, to be honest with you. Hardware bin is kind of skimpy nowadays, and I probably should have stocked up before all the tariff nonsense, huh? There's probably 148% tariff on it now. Anyhow, I'm just going to do bolts and lock washers and nuts. That's it. All it's doing is holding up our core support, so that ain't important. This way I can paint the hardware, and you know, when I spray the rest of the thing, and it'll kind of blend in, because you know, it won't look like a replacement so much, although it really does. I think this hole is smaller than that one. Well, that don't give two craps as long as it holds up the dang radiator. Well, I have tragic news. I just realized I'm all out of the Eastwood chassis black, which is what I would prefer to paint this with. And you know, I could wait and I could just order some more, but the one bad thing about Eastwood is it takes them forever to ship anything, so you need to order it like a month in advance. And I ain't got time for that. So we're going with the next best cheap option, which is this Rust-Oleum. I always said when the world ends, the only two things left on the planet will be cockroaches and anything painted with Rust-Oleum. Everybody has their opinion, but this is kind of my go-to when I can't get what I want. Now, what's it? And their nozzles suck. There we go. Okay. Well, now you'll be able to see every spot that I didn't clean very well. So just ignore it. Yeah. Oh crap, I put my hand right in it. Dang it. I thought maybe if I did the inside first, you know, I'd be safe. But no. Yeah, as you can see, I'm taking my time to make sure that I get perfect spray patterns. There's a small chance we might have a minor run here or there. Now I get to lay underneath of it because I didn't breathe nearly enough of it from the top side. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Tastes great. Let's get this too. Look, y'all, I put a brand new steering column on. Isn't that just fantastic? The other thing about Rust-Oleum is that it takes like 7 forevers to cure. So while that's drying, I really got to go mow the lawn. Whew, I think I'm feeling a little heavy from them donuts. Anyhow, these bumper brackets, I'm not going to do much with these. We're going to wire wheel them off, hit them with a lick of paint, and be done. These aren't the most important thing in the world, but you know, we can't put these rusty ass bumper brackets up there with our shiny new stuff. Newly looking stuff. Okay. Rusty dust. I hereby proclaim thee good enough. All right, I'll get the other one done, spray them down, and you know, that's it for this. Okay, this is not the star of the show. It's not even a co-star. It's like you know, one of those worthless people in the back that are just there. What do they call them? I don't know what they call them people, but they don't matter, I guess is my point. Oh, extra. I remember now, it's an extra. You hear that? You're just an extra here, okay? Don't like it? Talk to your agent. Well, what I want to do now is this section of, I guess, toe board, right? Below the firewall, the floor, up to the cross members. Before I go and start putting all this back together, because it's just going to be in my way, I want to go ahead and get this cleaned up and get it undercoated. I got some wires from where I welded sticking through. Imagine that, huh? So I'm going to cut these off, maybe hit a few spots with the flapper, and then we'll clean it up as best we can and hit it with our undercoating. Well, that looks good to me. Look at all the little wires. I need better aim with the welder. Oh, that looks fantastic. Fantastico. All right. There we go. I got it. I can't get out. I can't get out. Holy crap. Oh, I got a little bit to do over here. Only 2. Okay, that looks good. There's really not much to brush because I basically had to replace most, if not all of this. This side's going to be the hardest to get. It's there's a lot of crap in the way. But we'll do the best we can. We'll give it the old college try. Now with this, I'm not really concerned so much about how it looks. What I'm after here is, you know, this will protect it from rusting, or at least prolong it for a long time. It also provides a little bit of insulation and a little bit of, you know, sealing upper stuff. I do want to run a little bit of tape across the bottom of my firewall, because you know how much time I put into this? Okay, like a lot. So I don't want to undercoat it. I know, like it matters, right? But dang it, there was a lot of scrubbing and shizzing it with this firewall. I mean, you know, like a lot. Okay, that should be fine. Now y'all have seen me use this before. It's just 3M's rubberized undercoating. You know, I've always had good luck with it, so. I'll generally do like 2 coats of this stuff. We'll get the clutch pieces and all that later. I know I didn't forget. I just ain't worried about it right now. Boy, my aim is terrible. To think I was a sharpshooter. You wouldn't know it. I gotta go under here and get this. The spots I can't reach. I just want to get that in there. Oh crap, I got some on the firewall. Well, we're gonna ignore it, okay? We're ignoring it. Okay, that should be good. So I was just going through the hardware that we took off the truck. These are the U-bolts that bolt the lower control arms. And I don't know if you remember, if you watched that video or not, but I thought when I took them off that they were like twisted or bent, and they definitely are. 2 of them are. Like that one looks pretty straight. That one's definitely a little wonky, and that one looks pretty straight, and that one's definitely a little wonky. So I don't know if maybe something happened on one side or something, but I've priced these and they're pricey. So I don't know if something happened at some point or something to maybe make those go a little wonky. I don't know, hard to say. They're probably unsafe. So because they're pricey, what I'm going to do is just clean them up and reuse them. Because why not? I'm just cleaning the threads out. They seem fine to me. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They break and the lower control arm comes off while I'm running 70 down the highway and I take a hard left into a beer truck. Nah. All right, I think I'm at a stage where I can start putting this joker back together. That would be awesome, huh? Now these upper control arms of one side of this shaft here has got like a little divot. Listen to my dogs, why don't you? You remember I kept all these alignment shims, so I had the right amount of space in each one. So I'm just going to set them back on there. Put our funny washer. That washer's got like a round side. That's what goes in the divot on the shaft. I'm not worried about these being all rusty right now because, you know, we get this all done, it'll go to an alignment shop and I'll just have them pop these out and redo the whole thing. But at least for now, this will get us close. I better go get Senor. I need a little more oomph. A little more oomph, please. There we go. Now we're talking. I'll get this all put together, and after it's set down, we'll tighten these up. Here comes Ernie to check on me. What's going on, Ernie?
Not much.
Did I?
Oh my God, look at that.
I know.
Damn. Have I told you how proud of you I am? Holy smokes. Man, you've been busier than a one-arm paper hanger.
Yeah, well, are they busy? A one-arm paper hangers?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I guess it is tough to hang paper with one arm.
It is.
Now these lower control arms got, oh crap, little divots, okay, in the shaft. And they fit up in these little pins that are right here. And I think what I've decided to do is take on these U-bolts, one wonky one and one straight one. Oh, did I get two wonky ones? Well, dang it. Let me go get a straight one. Anyhow, one wonky one and one straight one on each side. And then, you know, maybe everything will be lovely. Holy crap, this thing is heavy. All right, let's get my divots up in here. Let's see. How am I going to do this with one hand? I don't know, but we're going to figure it out. Is this the wonky one? Yeah. I'll have to use one hand and like a knee. Don't worry. Everything's fine. Let's see. This is the straight one. It's a piece of cake, okay? Trust me. Absolute piece of cake. Oh, not yet. Not yet. All right, I'm gonna draw one up and make sure these pins are seated slowly here. Well, I don't know what's happening. More powers. Oh crap. I reversed it. Yeah, working upside down is a joy. Oh, I still reversed it. I've backed it off twice now. At high speed, mind you. Okay, that's better. All right, I know I'm lined up, so I'll go up top and get them all tight. Yeah, I get you now. I don't know what the torque spec is supposed to be on those, but I know it's really tight, and that's what I got, really tight. All right, let's get this joker on the jack so we can put on our spindle. The spindle, because that would be the next step here, is put on the spindle. Oh crap, I got the brake shield on there, and it's messing me up a little. Okay, here we go. Cast the lead nut. Crap. Oh, what the heck, man? What size is that? 15, 16. Why? We'll get them torqued down after I get all this together. I did. I maybe splurged a little bit on a new set of springs, mostly because the other ones were clapped out, man, like real bad. So I might have to let this down a little. Okay. Now what we're going to have to do is make sure that this is on the pocket there. Okay. And then clock this the right way. Okay. And it's going to be a good time, all right? I'm just telling you right now, it's going to be a hoot. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then make sure that's clocked like that. And then start bringing it up. Get on the thing. There we go. This is where stuff gets hairy, because I'm already picking the truck up. I don't have any weight on the front end of it. So I don't know. Don't know if we're going to be able to do this or not. I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. Oh, the spring will come flying out at me. Oh yeah, I'm a mile away. Crap. What to do, what to do. What happens if I sit right here? Is that enough? Probably not. Did that get me any closer? No. My camera died and you missed all the action. But this is a whole new level of sketch right here. Do not do what I do, boys and girls. This is some dangerous shiznit. Holy crap. I gotta hurry up and get this tight before it blows up on me. Oh, for Pete's sake. All right. Phew. Scary, man. This is scary. But you know, whatever works. Well, I told you we'd talk more about LEED brakes later on, and here we are. These are the parts they sent me for the front. Okay, for the front brakes, they sent me the rotors and brake pads. They did not have the calipers in stock when we put this deal together, which I understand completely because I got some calipers from like a random brake part store. I don't even know who, but it doesn't matter. They were really tough to get. So I don't know, it must be limited production or something. But anyhow, these folks right here, they're out of Cheektowaga. I don't know if I'm saying that right, okay? It's Cheek to something or another, and they're in New York. But I've talked to these guys several times, and I'm telling you, they're fantastic. And I could not be more pleased that they are on board with building out Huckleberry here. They've sent me a lot more stuff than just this. But in this video, we're just going to talk about these parts here for the front. They also sent me this cool hat, which I don't want to get dirty, so I haven't been wearing it because, it's white, or partly white. But I will wear it. I just won't be wearing it right now because that'll get grunge like quick. Got some cool stickers. Got new pads for the front and the pad clips. But I believe this right here is our rotors for the front, and they're not just any old rotors. You really should check out LEED brakes, okay? I'm going to put a link in the description, leedbrakes.com, and they're also on Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, X, all that stuff that I don't really much get into. Thank you for choosing LEED brakes. Thank you, LEED brakes. Oh man, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to more or less destroy the box. I'm guessing they won't mind. Oh, holy crap. Heavy. They are the Max Grip XDS, okay? Oh, and it says do not use any type of brake cleaner on this rotor surface. Oh, I'm glad you told me that because I sure would have. But check these puppies out. They're like silverish. Isn't that awesome? Drilled and slotted. Yeah, man, these things are super slick. Okay? Just super slick. Well, I like that a lot. All right, we got to get these prepped to go on the truck, and that requires grease, like a whole lot of it. I'm gonna slather this in here where the bearings go, just as a preemptive strike, you know what I'm saying? Now I get to pack this joker by hand. Okay, this is the way you want to do it. Just make sure you squish it in there and get grease all inside that bearing. Good sticky red high temp wheel bearing grease. Yeah, kind of stuff your mother told you not to play with when you were little. Yeah, I'll even scoop up the extra. Waste not, want not, red sticky grease. This is just the kind of stuff, I don't know, you feel like a kid when you play with this kind of crap. It's like Play-Doh or some stuff like that, you know, feels forbidden. All right, we're gonna drop this in here. You're gonna go through some gloves because now I gotta take these off so I don't get grease on the dang rotor. Tap in our seal. Let me go get something to tap with. I need a little tapper thingy, you know, to tap. I got this cool bearing and seal driver kit thingy that I picked up sometime back at the freight store down by the harbor. Normally I would just grab me a hammer and tap it in there, but fancy rotors require fancy tools. That's right, I said it. Okay, now we'll go slide this on the truck and then put the front bearings in. Yep, a fresh rotor, fresh gloves. There we go. That's looking good. Now I'm gonna pack grease all inside of here. Best I can get it in there. Be generous with it. Be very generous. The last thing you want is to have a some kind of a wheel problem because you didn't put enough grease. There we go. And I'm even going to shove a little more in there. Washer, spindle nut. Alright, now people do this all kinds of different ways. I like to get it on there pretty good, make sure it's seated. Yep, and then I'll back it off. Until it spins with just a little bit of resistance. Sounds good. Right there. Now we just have to make sure we're lined up with a hole in our Casterly nut there for a cotter pin. Is that it? Oh yeah, there we go. Now some people will fill this cap up with grease and shove it on there, but I'm gonna tell you something. It doesn't. That's not helpful. I mean, it's never going to get in there. If you want to pack a little more in around the nut, that's fine, you know. But filling this thing full of grease is not going to help that. Just my opinion. Yeah, these are the ones I took off, and I just took them and cleaned them up and painted them. I know, I'm a psycho. But I never claimed to be normal. Look at that. Fantastic. Now we need those calipers and brake pads. These are the cool brake pads that LEED Brakes provided. And the little clips there. You just put the little clip on there. And, whoops. Set it down inside of there. That'll hold it. See? Isn't that fancy? And then this one will go on this side. And your calipers like that, like I told you, I think I got these at like O'Reilly's or something. I don't know. But anyway, as long as your bleeder's up, you'll be in good shape here. So slide these in place and run our bolts in. Easter's coming up, y'all. I hope you've been good, okay? Because the Easter Bunny knows when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake and might not bring you an egg for goodness sake or whatever. Isn't that just a joy to behold? Love it. Loving it. Like McDonald's. Oh, I love this more than McDonald's, although Big Macs are really tasty. Check it out. I got these are some El Cheapo shocks I got from Summit Racing. They're like, I don't know, Rancho Cucamongas or something like that. But that's what's going here because that's what I got. The Rancho Cucamongas, or like I said, you know, whatever. I guess you gotta try to slide the boot over top of this. The mount point of this dang thing. Holy crap, man! It won't go. Oh, it smokes. And then let's see. What did they do? They gave me a zip tie for the boot. So I guess we'll do the zip tie thing here. Well, it seems cheap, okay, if I'm being honest. But, you know, you get what you pay for. I wanted cheap, I got cheap. And then we got to put this on in place of the factory stud mount. Yeah, some assembly required. Let's hit it again for good measure. There we go. I'm just going to shove a little grease on here so it don't squeak, you know. And we'll get that in there. And get the bottom foot in. Okay. And I'm just reusing the old hardware on the bottom here. Wrong size. I knew it. I did know it. Okay. I just thought I'd give it a shot. Okay. I think that buttons this up. Nope. I forgot to put on my fancy sticker here. And you know, I don't know. It came with it, okay? So we'll just shove it on there. Let everybody know we're sporting the Rancho Cucamongas. Truth be told, I don't give 2 cents about a Rancho shock, but I do care about LEED brakes. So we're gonna put them right here, baby. Thanks again, LEED brakes. Yeah, I'm saying that's looking pretty good. I'll button up the other side, throw the sway bar on, and then we can move on to the rear end, you know, the other end. But that's going to have to wait till next time because I am out of time and I am whooped, okay? Those control-on bushings, well, took it out of me, okay? Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got something out of it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. And once again, hey, thanks to LEED Brakes for sponsoring this video and for sponsoring the build, sponsoring old Huckleberry here. We really appreciate their support. Need you to help them. Go check out LEED Brakes. They're at www.leedbrakes.com. I'll put a link in the description, but they're also on all the social media sites, okay? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, all that stuff. Easy to find LEED Brakes, good quality stuff. Help me help them. All right, again, hope you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you real soon. In the meantime, get off the couch and go wrench on something. We'll see you.